Wow. Hello, everyone. So great to have you here today. Are you showing up for your business the way you want to, or do you feel like you're posting randomly, hoping for the best? And when you do have time, do you wonder where to start because stopping so often has made you lose your flow? Well, this year I've been learning alongside an amazing group of women, and I'm sharing our journey as we go. And here's the lovely Lisa in the room with us today. Um, so yeah, this amazing group of women, we're learning together, sharing our journey. And I have a few questions for you. So are you struggling to stay visible to your audience? Do you want to build trust and credibility, but you don't know what to post? Are you finding it hard to connect with potential clients or customers? And do you want to create momentum, but you keep getting stuck? When we face challenges, it's our opportunity to rise. It's about seeing possibilities where others see obstacles. It's about showing up for ourselves and our businesses because choosing to pursue a side hustle we're passionate about allows us to become a greater blessing to our families. So stick around. I've worked hard to make this simple for all of us, and I'm going to show you exactly how to make content creation easy and consistent. And I'm working on it myself. So I wouldn't say that I'm the model of perfection. Not that I don't think any of us should be going to be a model of perfection, but yeah, I'm on the journey as well. So here's me showing up, sharing the journey with you guys, and I'm super excited about sharing this information with you today. So yeah, but first, I wondered if Lisa, maybe you would have a second while you're out there in the beautiful sunshine with your kids. I just love you to share, if you can. Just introduce yourself and a little bit about your side hustle. And Pam, if you get free, I'm not sure if you are, but we'd just love to hear from you as well, because it'd just be so cool to hear from the other people in the Zoom room.
Hi, I'm Lisa. I have a wonderful husband and four beautiful young children, and we live in the stunning Te Puhi, which is on the Nakatopo Road. Hopefully, the wind isn't affecting
No,
this
you
too much.
sound
But
good.
okay, so my side hustle is a nut butter business, which I had the idea of a couple of years ago to make handcrafted nut butter, all made on our farm here in Te Puhi. So we've got a small range of flavors, and yeah, I'm just really enjoying the journey of learning.
Thank you, Lisa. What makes you passionate about it?
Passions are I'm super passionate about what goes inside of my children's tummies, and I really want them to, um, to thrive in life. And I believe that is all made up of what they eat. So I love feeding them whole foods, foods that are nourishing to their bodies. And so, yeah, these nut butters are just full of goodness that they need to grow strong and healthy bodies. So that's one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about it.
So good. I can totally resonate with a lot of that. And I think Pamela can probably do that as well. I know she's been on a bit of a health journey, but um, do you like being called Pam or Pamela? I never know because your name is officially Pamela on all of on, everything. But what do you prefer or you don't mind?
Most people call me Pam, but I just have like a few friends here and there that call me Pamela, so I'm quite happy with either.
Pam, do you mind sharing with us your side hustle? I just would love for people just to be introduced to you a little bit.
Cool. I have a few things, so to figure out which one to start with. Um, I guess for some context, my husband and I are missionaries, or I'm more the missionary because he's the national, but from Uganda. Um, and we're in New Zealand at the moment, having babies and getting ready to go back. Um, yeah, so our mission, we've got a ministry over there of raising up basically kingdom entrepreneurs, but even if it's not a business that they're working on, they might be in the education space or healthcare or entertainment or anything like that. But who have a dream that want to see those sectors with, better systems and serving people better and just kind of done in a way that we're like serving God is at the center of it, and yeah, for his kingdom, and just a reflection of heaven on earth as much as possible. Um, so yeah, just creating a space to really train people up, firstly in dreaming with God, and then once they've received a dream, really just the equipping to get themselves out there. And ultimately, we want to see those ideas funded. So somewhere along the way, we'll have to start a fund or partner with some existing funds to, yeah, really see those things off the ground. So the reason I introduced that first is because what we're doing in New Zealand relates to that, or in this season anyways. I've launched an online course called the Idea Cooker, and that's basically taking people, anyone who has an early stage business idea, ideally in the idea stage, but sometimes people that have been going for a while, but they realize that they maybe don't understand enough about their target market and want to go a bit deeper. And yeah, just guiding them to learn about what are the greatest problems their customers have to solve, and yeah, giving them some disciplines and tools around that, and then really putting them on a trajectory towards raising money if they want to, or putting more of a personal investment into whatever sort of business or project they're running. So yeah, that's the gist.
Wonderful. I actually did the idea cooker, and I loved it, and I just learned so much. I feel like it's really played into helping me take a real strong direction this year. Yeah, but it was really great. I was in your first group, right, Pam?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was great to have you in there.
Yeah, and I
Top
definitely
of the
highly
class.
recommend it. What'd you say?
Top of the class.
Top of the class. I'm going to talk about this today. I think that good ideas take time. What do you think about that? Is that a something that you believe in, or something, because I know in the idea cooker you really taught us how to slow down and check, is the problem we think we're going to solve really something that's going to solve things for people? Um,
Mm.
like where did that come from for you, that you were like, yeah, learning how to really double check before you start a business?
I think it was really from my journey. So I was fortunate enough to get to go through a business accelerator program that was like straight out of uni. I started a business. We kind of started it in uni and then decided to take what was a uni project and bring it into the real world.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I just, those parts of the process I never would have had any value for before that. But then, being in an environment that forced me to have to learn about my customers and their needs, which then I realized, yes, it takes time, but that's the most valuable thing I can be spending my time on, because I'm not wasting my time building a product nobody wants.
Absolutely.
Yeah, or like, and a few people will tell you, oh, that's such a nice idea, but then you go and build it and you realize, okay, there's actually not really a market for this. And yeah, so you don't want to spend all the money and time building something that ends up like that. So I basically got to learn the disciplines through some seasoned entrepreneurs that have been through the process so many times, and it actually becomes kind of like a discipline, or like, a set of principles that you're working to, with some toolkits to help you along the way.
Yeah.
And so then once you've done it once, it's really a repeatable process. So I've
Absolutely.
repeated that process with several, both with businesses I've worked hands-on with, and then also coaching other startups. So yeah.
So what we're chatting about, for those who maybe have jumped on as we've been going, we've just been one of the businesses that Pamela's involved with, or one of the ventures, because she has many ventures: motherhood, her marriage, their connections in Uganda and going back there, but also this business and online course called the Idea Cooker. And this is an opportunity for you to take an idea that you have and cook it, check it, see if it's going to go somewhere. So yeah, that's what we've just been chatting about. And yeah, Pamela's got some cool stuff coming up. I will be sharing on Mum with a Side Hustle um, when we get that far.
Yeah, nearly there. I've actually just finished recording today for a free course that I'm going to be putting out
Oh,
there, which is just like 5 sessions. Each session is like 5 minutes long.
yeah.
So it's really condensed, but there's a lot of value in
Yeah.
each session. It's kind of one where you need to get your pen and paper and just
Yeah.
scribble away some notes as I go through it because it's scripted, so it's very condensed.
One of
um,
the best parts about doing this together is that we get to inspire one another. Like, I know that I committed to making an online course, but I haven't yet.
oh,
So hearing that you've done it, Pam, like, is really helpful for me. I'm like, come on, Leash, like, you can do this. Um,
still in the doing it phase, not quite the done it phase.
recorded it.
Hopefully,
That's fantastic.
yeah, I've got to go through and edit and just see. I may need to do some retakes for some sections of it, but at least I've had at least one run through of the whole thing.
Oh,
Um,
good.
yeah, so I'll be editing it over the next few days and hopefully next week have it live and ready to go. So yeah.
Well done. Well done. And hi, Rita. Nice to see you here with us. How are you today? Obviously not working. You're looking gorgeous, by the way. Do you want to unmute and say hi to us? Oh, maybe unmuting's not happening. When you manage it. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. And it's a privilege to run alongside you. And yeah, I'm so thankful for the connections, but thank you for being here. Welcome to everyone who's watching us later. Welcome to everyone who's live on Facebook. It's just great to have you. Would you just please do us a favor and drop a comment and say hi? And any information you have, like, hey, can you talk more about that? Or this is what I'm struggling with. I just love to hear it so that it just shapes the future videos that we have. So please don't be shy. This is a space where we can all learn and grow and rise together. And Rita is unmuted. Hi, you want to say
I
hi?
managed to, I managed to figure it out. Just couldn't find the right button.
You're looking gorgeous.
Oh, it's just to match the new dress.
It's lovely. I love it. You're not working today or you're working later?
Yeah, it's just my lunch break.
Oh, wow. You look lovely for work. I love it. Cool. Well, today we're just going to start with a little chat about consistency, because consistency is actually going to play a really, really big role in us succeeding in building a personal brand. So the idea that we're going with is build a personal brand in a year. Um, and the reason that we've talked about a year is because we want to do this in just 3 hours a week. And I was chatting with a friend, and she knows who she is, and she said, I'm still chewing on the content that you did like in the first video. And I said, do you know what the truth is? I am too. Like, if I really had the time to sit down and consistently follow all of the stuff I've been sharing, it would take a long time, but we've got to keep the ball rolling and we've got to keep going. So I just want to encourage you, if you're watching and you want to know what we did at the beginning, go back and watch some of the previous videos. This is actually week 5. So we're into month 2. And so month 1 really was about building out all the kind of structure around what you're doing, why you're doing it, what your values are, what's unique about what you have to offer, all that stuff. And now we're in month 2. We're actually attacking how to post, how to create content. And for me, this is the funnest part. I mean, I love the building of the structure and all of that sort of stuff, but I actually really, really love creating content. And to be honest with you, when I started Mum with a Side Hustle, I actually started with content, and I wouldn't say that's a bad thing. I think it's on my perspective, it's good to get some stuff out there and learn as you go. And all of the information we've been sharing and all of the things that the mums who are in our core tribe have been doing has been just bringing so much richness to it. But I would encourage you just to start. Like, don't hold back. If you've got an idea, get started. So yeah, let's talk about why consistency matters. So it's not hard to understand that if you want to build trust with someone, you're going to need time and consistency. That's in any relationship, and it's no different if you're online. So in my personal experience, trying to promote a business of any kind doesn't happen in one post. I've personally tested and shared businesses in the last few years, from my counseling business to online trading to other business affiliate opportunities, and I've had some small successes, and I've learned something about consistency. But this year, while I've been learning about how to build a personal brand, I've started to realize exactly why my approach was immature and really wasn't getting me anywhere. Like it was getting some of the cream off the top, but it really wasn't building something that would last for a long time and would really bring in the kind of leads, I want to say, or the people that I really needed to see those businesses succeed. So if you want to build a strong brand online, showing up consistently is the key. Of all the people and accounts that I follow, the ones that I'm most engaged with, I've actually been following for almost the last 5 years. And of these accounts, the people and the mission behind them have actually changed my life. And that's because they chose to show up for 5 years consistently creating content. Most of it free. Most of what I've received, I have received for free. Um, and this has inspired me. Like, this is what I want to become to someone else. I don't want to be looking at people as dollar signs. And I don't believe any of the women on this call look at people as dollar signs, but I think that we can misrepresent ourselves through our posting, through our content, um, accidentally. I think that some of the way that network marketers are trained, some of them, definitely turn people into dollar signs and turn people into business partners rather than building a relationship with a person. And I've done enough of what is wrong to learn what I don't want to do. And now I'm trying to show up and do it in a way that is really good for my heart and in a way that really allows me to connect in a real way with people. So, yeah, I know that I've got it wrong and I'm okay with that. I'm mostly okay with that. But I'm here showing up and wanting to do it better. So please come along with me, learn from me, learn what I've done wrong. Go back and look at my old posts if you need to. But I want to grow an awesome, financially successful business, but I'm realizing that I need to dig some big trenches. I need to put in hours of hard work and let my roots go down deep if I want to get the great results that are going to last for the long term. And I heard the other day, I've just consumed podcasts like nothing else in this season, that if someone can go online and listen to 8 hours of content that you've put out there, then they will feel like they can trust you. And so you can ask yourself, do I have 8 hours of content available for people to consume if they really want to get to know me? And this has proven to be true. I was sent a new account that I followed, and I started watching some of their content, and they have plenty there. And I actually, because I was really interested in them, I watched like a whole lot of videos. I'm not sure if I've seen 8 hours worth yet, but if you find someone who you resonate, you want to go and you want to be able to get to know them better. And what this does is it actually bridges the gap between you're a person online and you're a real person. And so, yeah, it just is going to take time if we are not consistent with our posting, if we're only doing a small amount of work. Um, we can't we can't expect for that kind of level of connection and interaction with people to happen from a small amount of posts. So all I guess I want to say is commit to something that is going to be possible for you in the long term. It took me 3 years to get my Bachelor of Arts, and it took me 2 years to get a master's in counseling. So it's going to take me a good few years to earn people's trust and also be able to convey the value that I want to give. So it's not going to happen overnight. And I just want to say, mums, do yourself a favor and let go of the pressure to make this work for you right now. Get a contract on the side if you need to. Find some other way to earn that money that you need to earn. Because if you're putting so much pressure on your business to earn you a whole lot of money, it's going to be really hard for you to show up consistently in the small number of hours that you have with passion, with ease, without putting pressure on the people that you need to buy your products. And those are all just from my experience. So please, if you have a better experience than that, you've done this faster or you got there better, I want to hear that. Drop it in the comments. But look, it takes time. It takes time to build something that you want to last, something that is going to pay you in the future, something that is not going to be time and money bound, that is going to be valuable enough to pay you over and over and over again. And I hope that by hearing this, it gives you the opportunity to breathe a sigh of relief. Because I know as a mum and as a woman and as a business person, I constantly put pressure on myself for this to work and for it to work fast. But the reality is that's just not how it works. You have to learn skills, you have to learn systems, you have to learn mindsets, and that will set you up for success. So what you want to choose right now is a pathway of consistency over intensity. Okay, something you can maintain and one that you're not going to give up on. So that's my little encouragement. Thank you, Pam. I saw your comment there. But let's just talk about posting. Okay, so this could be something you could apply to anything like content that you're creating, like videos, blogs, whatever it is you want to create. But let's just talk about what would happen if you were regularly posting. So number one is you're going to stay visible to your audience. Number two is you're going to build trust and credibility. Number three is you're going to connect with potential clients or customers. And number four is you're actually going to create momentum in your business. I always like to just pop and check if anyone's commenting. So, I've just got a question and I want to, if anyone would like to answer it, I think it'd be good to get real and I would just want to hear what it's like for you guys in the Zoom or in the chat. What's the biggest challenge you face when it comes to posting consistently? I think it'd be really cool to hear what that's been like for people. Or I think, Lisa, you've probably shared a little bit of that before, like what's your biggest challenge in showing up consistently? But yeah, if anyone has anything they want to share now or in the chat, we'd just love to hear like what that is. Oh yeah, Pam says perfectionism. Can you expand on that a little bit? I think it'd be cool to understand more about what is perfectionism and how that plays out in your lack of consistency.
Yeah, I think I probably second guess too much what I'm going to post. And then I think being in the social media world, there's a lot of really high quality content on there. And often that's the things that come to the surface the most.
Yes.
You see that and then you think, oh, I've got to be at that standard. And I think one of the things, especially that I've learned even through doing this filming over the last week, is like my first film was really terrible. And I'm actually going to retake the first one. The first, it was only a 5-minute video, but it took probably a good half hour of recording to get it. Actually, probably a lot longer than that. Um, but yeah, I think I had that pressure on myself, like, oh, I've got to try and get it right. And so then, like, my mindset around it meant that, like, I was looking like too focused and too serious, and it was just like I needed to. And the ones after that, it was like I'd figured out how the system worked. I got in the zone, and I think that's the thing. Even with social media, is you expect that, oh, it's just social media. Like, we all know how to post on social media, and so then we think that we should be good at it from day one.
Yeah.
And at least I do. I put that sort of pressure on myself, and so I think it's just realizing that it's okay just to have some really average posts. And in reality, with what I'm doing, it's all out to my friend group, and they actually just love me for who I am.
Yeah.
They're not expecting me, and probably if it was too polished, they might be more turned off by it because they know me and they want to hear my heart and my rawness and my unscripted version. So
Sounds like you need to start a live Zoom call.
yeah, maybe one day.
What about for you, Rita? What barriers do you face when it comes to posting consistently?
Um, I think probably the perfectionism, but also just sometimes knowing what to post or yeah, having time to kind of come up with a plan and then actually executing it.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. How about you, Lisa?
Yeah, I would say mine's probably a combination of what Pam and Rita have said, like when you see what others in your industry, the kind of giants are doing, and you're like, wow, that's so amazing. How can I compete with that? Um, yeah, it has been easy for me to sort of be discouraged with that. And then also thinking, oh, what can I post that's cool? What can I post that people will actually be interested in watching? So yeah, those would definitely been challenges that I have faced with posting. Yeah.
Absolutely. The one that interests me is how many times I've run into someone and they've been following me, but they haven't commented or haven't liked on anything. Do any of you guys have that? Pam says your recent post was really beautiful, Lisa. Like a pro. I have to
Oh,
say, every time you put a post out, I just think, wow.
oh, oh, you guys.
You're
Oh,
smart.
what was your question? What
Um,
did you say?
oh, do you get people
Oh,
talking to you in person or messengering you that don't actually comment or like or anything?
I haven't had that yet.
Okay.
I hope one day maybe.
I think it's around the corner. That honestly, that's been the most consistent kind of feedback I've had since starting Mum with a Side Hustle has been either in person or someone has messaged me personally, or they've replied to one of my stories, but not about the story, about something they actually saw on a video that I did. So it really surprised me. I was actually going to try and go live on my Facebook page today, but for some reason it didn't want to work because I was like, I just knew that would be great to just share this with everybody. But yeah, it's crazy, and I think as I've continued to post, I've had more and more of that. The other thing that really interested me about this whole perfectionism thing is, like, if I went back to my first Zoom calls. Wow, I've just grown a lot, is all I want to say. And I'm so grateful. Honestly, it was just really an idea from the Holy Spirit. And that's what I've been following this whole time is this little prompting, start doing a weekly Zoom. And some weeks I was trying to get the Zoom to connect with the Facebook and I didn't know how to do it and it was not working. And like I remember like several times just having to not even do the call because I could not get the technology to work. And now it's like I could do it mostly with my eyes closed, except I need to open them to copy the links over. But yeah, absolutely. Well, I've got some things I've been working on to help you with exactly what you're talking about, perfectionism and what to post, because I think that that is the massive barrier. And I've put them together for myself, and I'm hoping in the next few weeks that I will start to follow these plans because I think that they're going to be awesome. But Jade, who is in our group, in our core group of mums, she dropped this line last week and she said she has content pillars. Does anyone remember that? Content pillars. And I was like, oh, what's that, Jade? I didn't know about that. So I did some research. So let me tell you, content pillars are key themes that define your brand and your messaging. So I think that I'm going to build this into month one as well as defining your content pillars. So, for example, I'll give you some examples that I have. So it could be like behind the scenes, so sharing your journey or challenges or your wins. It could be educational content, something about your brand that you want to educate them with. It could be your story and your why, like why you're doing the business. Engagement and community, so why that matters to you, and maybe your offer. They could be like your 5 pillars. The recommendation is 3 to 5. I'll just share mine with you because I've been working on it, and it's always fun to hear what someone else has created. So for me, at the moment, what I'm going to go with is like family life and mum life. That's going to be one of my pillars because that's what I like sharing about. So the joy, the love, the real moments as a family, some of the frustrations I share. Sometimes I struggle with sharing vulnerably with frustrations because so many people pour out their now this sounds terrible now I say it out loud. They say, "Oh, you can do it and you'll be fine." And it's almost like they're there to rub me on the back. And I'm so thankful, but I'm not actually posting it for that purpose. I'm actually posting it more because I know that there'll be other women out there who can resonate with what I'm doing. But in saying that, I am thankful for all the encouragement. So thank you if you've posted to encourage me when I have put out something about what I'm struggling with. But it's more because I want to be vulnerable. Not so much because I'm throwing the baby out and the bathwater, if that makes sense. Anyway, so my first pillar, now that I've explained that all, is family life and mum life. Number 2 is the courage to rise. So if you've stuck around with Mum with a Side Hustle, this is one of my favorite things to say is that we are women who rise despite every setback, every barrier, every like delay. We're women who rise up. And so I really want to be about encouraging mums to push through their challenges and embrace their resilience. So that's number 2. Number 3 is that your story is valuable. This goes a long way back for me. So for years, I facilitated an amazing program called Shine. It was a women's program, a girls' program in schools, and one of the lessons was around that your story is unique and you are valuable, and what you contribute to the world, no one else can. And that has really shaped my life and my ability to show up and bring something to others. And now it really shapes what I want to share online. So, yeah, your story is valuable. And lastly, community and support. So, learning, growing, cheering one another on. Like, I have had some cool ideas. I would love to interview mums with their businesses and put it as part of my YouTube channel. I want to be highlighting others and sharing what they're doing so well. Because I think like I know how much in 1 month this group of women, um, our core mums our core tribe mums have changed my life. You know, how much it has helped me to have them doing this race with me, this race of business. I don't know if we should call it a race, but doing business together, doing online together, it's really, really encouraged me. And yeah, I want to celebrate that. So yeah, so those are my core things. What about you guys? Like, do you have um any pillars you've been thinking about? Did anyone else pick that up when Jade shared that you would like, create some pillars? Lisa, have you got some pillars? Content
Oh,
pillars?
I haven't, but I'm glad you brought it up because when Jade mentioned it last week, I was like, "Oh man, this I need to have a coffee with this mum.
Yeah.
She's on. She's got some really great things to share from her journey in this. And yeah, when she said that, I'm like, wow, I'd never ever heard of that concept before. So I'm glad you brought it up because it's definitely something to think about.
So what would yours be then? Off the top of your head, what do you like posting about? What would you want to get out there? Like just
Oh,
brainstorm with us.
yeah, it would definitely be like whānau. That would obviously, be
Yeah.
important. Community is also really important. Um, and what is what I guess yeah, I guess food would be another. I could probably break that down further, but the importance of good food in your body. Um, those would just be the three off the top of my head that I'd really want to.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but
What about
yeah.
what about for others who are Rita, or Pam? What sort of content pillars do you think you might choose for yourself?
Mm, what I've previously done is kind of like the look of the day type, just like walking to work, what I'm wearing, or what I'm wearing on my face that day.
Yeah.
But also like maybe into some other life, as you say, family life type stuff. I can't think of any one, but probably the two.
Okay. You're
So,
pretty hard to
jump
understand. Your
out.
connection might not be very good there.
Sorry.
That's okay. I think I heard you say something about what you're wearing or what you've put on your face that day. And did you say something about mum life? Maybe you can drop it in the chat. What about you, Pam? Have you got any ideas about like what pillars you would sort of post around? I think you do. I feel like I know that you already have this.
No, I didn't even know of the concept of pillars until Jack brought it up. But we had already sort of thought ages ago before we even started the page the sorts of things we would want to be sharing.
Yeah.
But we probably need to explore it a bit deeper. But yeah, I think for us, some of the major things are going to be testimonies.
Yeah.
So whether that be of like just day-to-day life, because over there there's a lot more openness to the gospel and to prayer and everything. So you get quite a lot of just like random miracles that happen when you're like at the grocery store or something.
I just
Um,
love that sentence. You get random miracles that happen at the grocery store. Like, what a sentence.
yeah. Seriously, we like had this amazing one where we just done our shopping. It was probably 10:30 at night, and this like homeless guy that was clearly quite disabled um, just like muttered under his breath. He just said some assistance, which basically he was asking for some money.
Yeah.
And we just asked him, oh, what's wrong with your body? And he told us he had like severely broken his leg like a year ago and it had never recovered. And so we just asked him, can we pray for you? And like got to see on the spot like him healed. He was a Muslim, and then he said, I want your Jesus, and we led him to Christ. But those kind of things happen like so often. Like I don't think a week would have gone by that I didn't see a miracle over there. So
Wow.
definitely those kind of random like miracle testimonies, or even just personal testimonies, anything like that.
Yeah.
And revelations, so sharing like the stuff that God's downloading to us,
Yes.
and then updates around like how our ministry is actually going.
Yeah.
And we'll probably do, I don't want it to be heavy in the prayer request side of things, but I think we'll probably share like some vulnerable storytelling kind of stuff that then connects to, if people, because people usually want to do something
Yeah.
to contribute to the story. So like being able to put things out there as prayer requests, I think would be cool as well. There's probably more, but that's some of the.
Awesome. That's probably plenty considering you're going to post twice a week was sort of your thinking, or once a week, but both do one post a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even like starting, it's like, man, there's so much we want to say, and how do we might just end up, I mean, we'll probably do quite a lot of random stuff, at least try and stick to those core times that we've committed to. But then, yeah, I mean, you want to have that freedom, and like you do, Alicia, where like something happens in your family life. And I was actually thinking this week, Lily asked Jesus to come into her heart.
Oh, beautiful.
So she's 3.5, and when her grandparents were here, and yeah, it just happened like very spontaneously.
Wow.
But I thought like things like that are really special, and because a lot of ours is actually family is going to be a big thing because people love our kids that are going to be on the page. So definitely sharing family updates. But yeah, I think things like that are really special. So I will probably do a post this week on there about that. But we only have, I don't know, maybe like 15 followers or something. So I need to invite some more people to the page.
I think when I started Mum with a Side Hustle, I was like inviting people all the time. I actually this week had a little, I don't know if you call it maybe a breakthrough moment. Oh, sorry, I just need to shut this window. Oh. My mum and dad have just arrived and it's all about to get crazy out there. So, um, but I had this counseling page that I set up years ago and I've been wanting to delete it. But I went on there to find how to delete it and suddenly had this thought. I just am so thankful for my relationship with God. Change it to Mum with a Side Hustle because I have the private Facebook group that you've got to get access to. I have my normal page, but I think Jade also had started her group, but she started it as a page, and a page is kind of different from your Facebook profile and different again from a group. And so yeah, I changed it to Mum with a Side Hustle, and now I have yet another Facebook area to post in, but it's actually quite easy to post in there when you're posting in other ones. Yeah, so I don't know why I told you that, but anyway, that was something I did this week. Okay, let's move on to the second thing. So I had this revelation that if I took the pillars and then I took the four types of post we talked about last week, I could combine the two to create a lot of content. And so that's what I've been working on. So what I want to quickly go over again is the four types of posts because I know that that was so helpful for me when I first started. Oh, and I do want to say one more thing. I think the amazing thing about the pillars is it makes you recognizable to people. That's one of the biggest things. Like Jade has a very clear four pillars. We're just going to keep talking about you, Jade. I did try and get her on today, but she's got like they're cleaning up their house for real estate agents to come through. So she couldn't make it and she did apologize. But yeah, she is very recognizable. She can just say her four pillars off the top of her hand. She puts them out there. I can see in her messaging, it's very, very clear what she posts about. And so you just really want to have that recognizability. If you're posting randomly about all sorts of stuff, it can be really confusing. So let's go over the four types of posts. These are different from the like the pillars, okay? Pillars are your personal content. Post types are the types of way you communicate it. Yeah, cool. I just saw that, Pamela. She says teaching content from the Idea Cooker or Academy is another pillar for us. Yeah. I mean, I think that's just going to be such a blessing to people because this is really what it is. Our content is out there both to engage, but also to bless, to serve other people. So these are the four pillars. Number one is personal story. Number two is educational value. So that's like when you give them something valuable. Number three is an engagement post. So you're asking a question, making a poll, getting people talking. A friend of mine loves to use controversy, say real controversial things to get engagement. That could be a path that you go down. And the last one is call to action. So you're going to invite them to do something. So join, buy, subscribe. You need to have calls to action. I talked about this last week. If you don't have a call to action, you don't have a business. You need to have a way to invite people into what you're doing. So what I Oh, well, actually, what I want to ask, Lisa, you can answer this really quickly, is which of those four do you find easiest to post? Personal stories, educational value, engagement, or call to action? What's your go-to?
Yeah, personal stories, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Pam? What's your go-to?
I don't know if I'm quite in the category of having a go-to yet.
All good. Okay, cool. So, which one's the hardest, Lisa?
Probably the call to action.
Yeah. And that's what we need to learn about, right? And I reckon I've been learning a little bit. Pam, I downloaded that book. Do you want to talk about that book quickly? Do you mind sharing?
Which
100
book?
Million Deals? Is that the book?
Oh, yes. I was terrible because I listen to it when I'm like driving to kindy and stuff, so I end up not taking notes. So I need to go back and write down some
Okay,
notes.
okay. Well,
He was
who's the author? Oh, I shouldn't ask you.
sorry.
I don't even know where my phone is right now. I'm just on the computer. Okay, 100 Million Deals. Look that book up.
$100 million offers.
Thank you. $100 million offers. I've just started it. I know I need to get better at my call to action, so that's what I'm going to do. Did you want to add one thing there, Pam?
No, that's he kind of teaches you how to structure a deal and how to name it and like things like guarantees and bonuses and blah blah blah. Which if you
Yeah.
follow Benji, you can tell that this is where Benji's got his stuff from. Personally, I'm a bit skeptical of that kind of thing. I just feel like we might be moving past some of those as like ways of selling. But I don't know. Maybe that's just my bias. So I'm not sure if I'll experiment. Maybe I'll observe other people experimenting and then decide for myself.
You can observe me. I'm going to get better at it. I do think whatever you do really has to come out with the full genuineness of who you are, right? Yeah. Yeah. I think that's really important to me as well. That what I offer, I actually can deliver on, and that, yeah, that it is of incredible value to people. That kind of drives what I want to produce. Okay, so we've got the four or five pillars and the four types of posts. And then we're going to go over quickly your posting schedule. And then I've got a little suggestion for you to create all this because this whole call is about how to get your content going. Like, I want you to feel like after this call, I've got a plan of action. If I sit down and I work on it, then I'm going to be able to do posts. So we did talk about this last week, but I think it's really valuable to talk about it again. How often should you post? So if you're remember, we want to have consistency over intensity. So if you're just starting, 1 to 2 times a week, growth 3 to 4 times, advanced 5+. And we're all going to get there. I actually connected with a virtual assistant this week through a friend, someone in the Philippines. So I'm really, really excited about the potential of working with this person. Yeah, and I know that part of what I'm going to get them to do is help me with some of my content and help me with some of the tasks like getting this up on YouTube that take time. I'm going to get them to help me with that. So it is possible for us to do this. It's just finding out how. So here's a little strategy for you. Okay. You need to decide what days of the week you're going to work on it and how long you're going to give to each of these. I can still hear the noise from outside. Probably you can't. Okay, so here's an example. Maybe on Monday you choose your topics for the next week. Okay, so you've already done it for the first week. Wednesday you're going to write one long form post, and Friday you're going to draft an engagement post. Okay, so you want to be thinking, what days am I going to post? What days am I going to plan? And what days am I going to do drafts? You want to be a week ahead of yourself. Yeah, so what I did, I'll just share with you what I did because this is how I used my AI tool to get some ideas. So I said, AI tool, here are my pillars. here are the types of posts. And I gave it all the information. I said, please give me some ideas for posts. And I asked it to create a hook. So when we post, we want to catch people's attention. Okay. I'm learning so much about this, but you want to catch someone's attention because there is a lot of content out there. Okay. So catch their attention with a hook. You'll notice that I've been trying to start these calls with that. I've been changing the way I've posted a little bit with hooks. So I gave that to ChatGPT and I said, create this for me. Now, what first came back was a bunch of posting ideas that I couldn't use, things that I don't even have experience on, like value that I'm like, I can't give people a time schedule or like how to manage their time better. I'm not even managing my time that well. Well, I think I'm doing good. But do you know, the kind of post ideas that came back with were not anything I could give. So then what I did, and Jade taught me this, is that when she does a post, Jade should be here today, but anyway, when she does a post, she gives it to ChatGPT and then it remembers the way she talks and what she posts about. So what I did was I went through my four types of my content pillars and I gave ChatGPT some posts I had made in the past to give an example of what I post about, what matters to me, the ideas that I already had. And what this did was it helped me get it, and I also added a few things in because I wanted it to really understand. And so, yeah, that's what I did. And then it generated this amazing list of ideas for me that I'm now going to go through and start to schedule. Does that make sense? I think we need some feedback there. Tell me what you're hearing me say. Is that practical for you guys? I know it takes a little bit of thinking to kind of pull these two things together, but what are you thinking about that, Lisa? Would that be any use to you with your business, your posting?
Yeah, I'm just soaking it all in, just listening to what you've been up to. So yeah, keep going.
Okay. So for example, what it spat out for me was something like this. So family life and mum life. And then it gave me the four types of posts. So a value post, I could write about three simple ways I create joyful moments with my kids, even on busy days. I can actually write about that, guys. Like I've actually got something to say about that. Um, Another example, so an engagement one is what's one thing you do with your kids that melts your heart? Like imagine just asking that on my social media. Very simple post. But how many people are going to respond to it? Well, we'll see because I'm going to put that one out today. Personal, like storytelling. So like a real mother moment. I have a lot of these, a sweet, I could tell you about how my son prays at dinner. Oh, just melts my heart every time. This morning he did this very long prayer at breakfast. We all have to wait for him to finish, otherwise we get in trouble. But I could share about that, right? Like that's a real motherhood moment. And then promotional, this is the idea they gave me. Motherhood is busy, but that doesn't mean your dreams have to wait. Join my Facebook group for support and encouragement. I could do a post like that. I would change it. I wouldn't say it like that. But these ideas are actually really, really useful. So my next step is to schedule them in my mind. I haven't found a scheduling tool I love yet, but I'm going to get myself a calendar of some kind. When I've created it, guys, I'm going to be sharing it with you so that you can use it too. But yeah, I'm going to take all these ideas, and as I read them, I get really excited. I'm like, oh, I'd love to post about that. I'd love to create something like that because I taught it what is actually matters to me. And I think this is just like such a cool way you can use AI. It's not doing the work for me, but it's taking the burden off sitting down, trying to come up with ideas. And it's grabbing ideas that are totally outside what I would have chosen, right? Like I probably wouldn't have thought about some of those engagement posts, but they actually really, really fit with me. So what I suggest you do if you want to use an AI tool is give it your four pillars, even ask it to help you refine your pillars. Like, say, here's some posts I did. What sort of pillars should I have? Okay. Or here's the values that I've created for my business. What sort of pillars would you create out of that? Give it some information about you. The more you chat with it, the more it does know about you. Don't be afraid. Or maybe be afraid. I don't know. The jury is completely out on that. We will be able to see. This is the journey. So yeah, share past content with your AI tool to refine the responses it gives you. Ask it to generate hooks and don't just use, like this is so important. Don't just use what it gives you. Read it, think about it. Does it resonate with you? is that how you want to sound? This is so important because it's your voice. It's your voice, and ChatGPT doesn't it, like, no matter how awesome it's going to get, it's not going to be your voice because it's like it's the fingerprint again. It's going to learn so much about you, but only you have your fingerprint. And so you want to look at those hooks. Like the title of today's call, I actually worked on it about 4 or 5 times before I took the hook that I really, really liked because I didn't like some of them. They just didn't work for me. Do you want to hear what they were? I'll just tell you, just give you an example. I'll bring up my, oh, it's going slow. ChatGPT doesn't want me to read you them. Okay, here are the different titles that I worked on today. So the first one came up with busy mum. Here's how to stay consistent with your content. I didn't like busy. I didn't want that in there. So I said she's not so much busy as she is overwhelmed and tired. So the next one I created was tired and overwhelmed. Let's make content creation easy. I didn't like that one either. So then I said, what about? And then I created it myself. Take the stress out of content creation. And I added, hey, mama, because that's how I always try and talk to mums. I hope that doesn't offend anyone. I always wonder, do people like being called mama? Is that like a weird thing? But it seems to be how I talk to everyone. So that's just an example of how I used it to refine like what I was thinking. It's like having a whiteboard, but a person who you can go back and forward with. I feel like I'm losing track of what I wanted to tell you guys. Getting way too excited. So all that to say, I have created a worksheet for you to do this on. Sorry, Pam, it's not a fillable PDF just yet. When I have my virtual assistant, she'll create all that for me. But I did make a beautiful image, and you can just sit down and do some journaling around it. But yeah, it's gonna really bless you. And if you're watching this call and you've got to this part and you want my worksheet, then let me know and I will give it to you because I think, it just has like the 4 pillars and then it has the 4 types of posts and it just helps you really like build that out together. So yeah, by the end of if you can go through what we've done today, you're going to have clear content pillars, you're going to have post ideas ready to go, you're going to have a posting schedule that works for you and a system to stay consistent in your business. And if you can, choosing days of the week that you're actually going to consistently work on this, and if you can, building some supports into your schedule. So having someone who can have the kids for you for that hour on Monday morning. If that, like for me, Monday morning is really precious. I find that if I don't get my Monday morning, like the last 2 weeks, I haven't got that 1 hour on Monday morning. I have not done my posting because I didn't have that 1 hour to sit down and really get it sorted. And then having those other time blocks during the day, like Thursdays from 11 a.m. till now is my time to do this. And the only way that I get that is by making sure, and this is the great thing about going live, it's because I committed to being here and showing up live. If I if I couldn't, it just makes it's like if you tell someone I've got a meeting, so can you please have my kids? It makes sure that that happens. Does that make sense? By saying I had a live Zoom call every week, now everybody is supporting me to do my live Zoom call every week, partly because they want me to win and they love what I'm doing. Like my husband, he makes it work every week. He really honestly makes it work because I've committed to it and I've said, this is what I want to do. I need to be here. People are counting on me. To be here. And so, yeah, and I love it. I finish these calls, I jump out of the room. I'm so happy to be with my family. It just blesses everyone. So, mums, I want you to find a way. You can do this. You can find a way to make this work for you. You can find time. You can ask other people to help you because they've agreed that you should be doing this business. I hope they did. I hope that you've got people in your corner. But stick to your plan, make a plan, stay consistent, and I believe you're going to watch your brand grow. So thank you so much for being here. You guys can unmute and say goodbye if you would like to, but it's just been so good. I love everything you guys are doing. I love what you shared. Thank you so much. You're amazing woman, amazing mums.
Thanks, Alicia. That was great. Been really helpful.
Thank you, Pam.
Absolutely. Thanks, Leash. Just appreciate you both Yeah, and Rita, and we missed you, Jade.
Definitely did. And Kieran, we hope you're watching this on the replay. And I know others like Deb, she's going to be watching. But yeah, if you're watching on the replays, let us know. Leave a comment, say hi. Okay, bye guys.
Yeah.